Hi, everybody. It's a wee bit of alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. Today, we're going to do one more thing with the five elements and the associated internal organs before we park that for a while and move on to other things. So today we're going to incorporate the elements into Taiji transform, kind of like what we did last week, only this time we're going to take individual moves, individual postures within the form, and try to find the element associated with that. And just like we did last week, we did the whole form in one specific element. It's there is a possibility of finding any of the elements in any of the postures. So but some of them lend themselves to uh, more association with one or another. And so I put them together and we'll actually have a thing you can follow along with, or you can have for later the with the specific movements and what we're going to do with them. First, we'll start with a standing meditation and just kind of get refamiliarize ourselves with the different organs and the different associated elements and what that feels like. And so the key to this is we really want to get into the feeling, the actual felt sense of that, what that energy feels like in your body. And everything in Chinese, basically Chinese medicine and Chinese philosophy is are referring to relationships. We're talking about how things fit together. And the elements, in the Western concept of elements, it's more, we're talking about stuff. We're talking about earth being dirt and fire being, stuff that burns. And whereas in the Chinese model, we're talking about the energies that are associated with these ideas. Same thing with the organs. We're not talking about the actual heart that's pumping in your chest. We're speaking more about the heart energy and all the attributes that come with that. So there's like emotions and things, you know, there's a whole long list of associations that come with each of these elements, smells and tastes and types of movement and colors, et cetera, et cetera. So the this model, this five element model called Wu Xing is the Chinese name for it. This theory of the five elements is thousands of years old, and so they've had a long time to figure this stuff out. And I know this much of the whole thing, of which happy to share that tiny little bit with you, mainly because it is something that we can bring into our lives, and I think enhance things, particularly regarding our health. The getting the as we did a few weeks ago, we did the internal organ meditation where you follow the path where each organ kind of feeds the next one in the chain. And consequently, that is associated with the seasons. And so we'll be talking a little bit about that. I'll be guiding you through that as we go along here. But if we line ourselves to the element of the season and its associated direction, for instance, now we're in the season of spring, which is associated with the wood element, which is associated with the east in terms of direction. If we kind of align with that, then there is an insubstantial benefit that we get from that. We're borrowing from the nature chi in a specific way. So instead of just opening up the faucet and letting it all come in, we're saying, no, I'm addressing you, wood chi, right now. And with that, the quality of woodiness that comes with that is we're resonating more with that, even though all the elements are always present. We're resonating more with that wood chi in the springtime than we are, say, in wintertime, where it's governed by water. But the water feeds the wood. And so we have this getting in alignment with the seasons and the organs, then it has a nurturing effect on your body mind. And so things move in a positive direction in your life. And so let's stand up and we'll do a little bit of stuff with this. Begin and center over the balls of your feet along the medial line, along your big toe lines here. Your weight is moving more inward rather than out to the outsides of your foot. And feel that connection with the earth. So you're using that big toe line to create more structural support. It lines up with your bones better than if your weight is on the outside of your foot. And with that, you say, oh, okay, the structure is there, so now I can relax more into it. I can drop down. And we get sung, release down into into your feet, through your feet and into the earth. Now reach up with the crown of your head and tuck in your chin a little bit. And feel gentle upward, reaching, kind of like a vine reaching toward the sun as your crown is reaching up there. You're not pushing up, you're just kind of extending upward, kind of feeling pulled up by the Yang Chi of the heavens. And this allows that Yang Chi to descend and fill you with this, that luminous, radiant energy. Just as we sink deeper and deeper into the earth that rises up through the Yang Chuan points in the centers of our feet, kidney 1 points, and that earth chi rises up. And so the heaven chi, the yang chi of the heavens, the yin chi of the earth, they do a little dance. You want to feel yourself sinking more, even as you reach up with the crown of your head. So most of you is getting very yin. But you're keeping that your weight on the inside of your foot, sink into your heels a little bit more, still maintaining that central equilibrium. Now feeling more yin, relaxing into that. You're opening up the jade pillowgate at the base of your skull by reaching up the crown. Relax your lower back and let your pelvic bowl kind of get level. So if your butt's sticking out too much, then your lumbar curve is accentuated. Your pelvic bowl is going to be thrown off and you're going to be spilling your chi. It also affects the way that your joints work. You find it very difficult to use your hip joints properly if your pelvic bowl is angled out. Point your index fingers and feel into your central equilibrium. Feel into your energetic coherence. Point and reach and feel that tensegrity throughout your whole body. Feel the energy in your hands and your feet. You're filling up. The energy is circulating around. You're moving into a state of whole body energetic connection. There's one chi that animates the whole thing. So and all the parts are connected by the connected tissue system. So at the energetic level and at the physical level, there's all one connection. There's a unity or a coherence in the whole system. Reach with your elbows a little bit. Open up your shoulder joints. And spiral down to the left so you're releasing your hip joints and spiral down to the right. You just want to relax that. It's like you're sitting down in your legs. I'm going to prime the pump here a little bit. Just go into the balls of your feet. Reach with your wrists. Let your finger just sort of hang. And bring it up to about belt high. And then reach out with your fingers. Reach forward with your hands as you sink into your heels. Feel the opposition between your body and your hands. Now pull back. Feel your fingernails as you pull back. This enhances your wood chi too. So you feel those fingernails if you have claws and you're pulling back as your body comes forward. Sink into your heels as you reach forward. Open up. And pull back as your body comes forward into the balls of your feet. And reach forward. Sink into your heels. And into the balls of your feet. Pull back. Body comes forward. Now sink into your heels and press down. Just pause a moment and feel the energy in your hands and feel it circulating throughout your whole body. Feel your circulation. Feel the blood circulating in your veins. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth and breathe through your nose and into your lower dantian, into the area below your navel. Good. So now we're going to start with our 5 elements and associated organs. So since we're talking about wood, let's start with wood. That's the season we're in. The direction is east. So we're drawing that elemental energy from the east. And you want to feel on your right side at the bottom of your rib cage. That's where your liver is, and also your gallbladder. And the liver is the yin organ. And the yin organ has more to do with your original chi, your primordial chi, your pre-nature chi. There's a number of different names for it. Basically, your who and what you are at conception. That's when you're endowed with your original chi, according to the Taoist model. So we'll play along with that, and we're going to feel that. And the gallbladder is the yang organ, and that has more to do with the energetic expression to the external world. So your relationship, that relationship of wood. And the wood is an expansive energy. Think of bamboo, how it kind of rises very quickly, grows very fast, and it goes up in a straight line. And that's the essence of wood. It's very direct. It's it's pointing at a specific direction and is going there. It generally tends to be up and a rising kind of energy. And it's going from the yin of winter to the yang of summer. So breathe and feel your liver, your gallbladder. And feel that wood, that expansiveness in your body. And there's a partnership that's going on here. That is that which you create yourself by your thoughts, by your imagination, and that which you are gathering from your environment. So these two come together. And the more you can bring yourself to the game, the more you're able to meet the big chi. Now let that go. Your hand drop. We want to clear the palette a little bit between the different energies. See them as distinct qualities. The emotion that's associated with the liver and the gallbladder is the negative emotion is generally considered to be anger, but you can also think about it as frustrated ambition. It's also related to benevolence. That is, wood is the energy that keeps us moving in a direction toward personal evolution. It's that expansiveness that, it's going out and it's trying to find what's out there. It's asking what else is possible. Okay, now we go from the wood chi, the liver and gallbladder, to the heart. And this is the heart is the yin organ. The yang organ is the small intestine. And the heart is associated with the element of fire. It's the season is summer, and the direction is the south. Breathe and feel your heart, feel your small intestine. And feel the fire. The fire is that radiant quality, that expansive energy that is just opens up in all directions, radiates in all directions. The emotion associated with it is joy, which is the positive emotion, but its counterpart. So lots of fire brings you joy, and a depleted fire makes you sad. So breathe into your lower dantian, where your small intestine is. And feel that fire, feel that expanding, that joyful expansiveness filling up your system, radiating outward, opening to new possibilities, expressing freely, dancing lightly upon the earth. Now let that go. Bring your hands down. Sink into your heels. Get very swung. Feel that yin as that fire chi mingles with your body mind, mingles with your jing, your essence, and replenishes like feeding all your cells with this joyous yang chi. Now we're going to go to just below the heart on the left side, at the bottom of your rib cage there, is your spleen. And that's the yin organ. Your yang organ is right near it, which is your stomach. And this is the element associated with that is earth. The direction is actually center. And it's where you're occupying space. You're in a state of fullness. This, the, you know, you can think of it as like the Taiji, the grand ultimate. This is where you're expanded and have reached the fullness of your being. The season associated with it is usually late summer. But here you want to feel the direction, the center. So you want to connect up with the earth chi through your feet, but also feel the yang chi of the heavens as well. And breathe and fill up your stomach, your spleen. When you're each of these directions, you're asking, you're saying, please give to me this energy. You're rising to meet them in the fullness of your being, but you're also humbly asking for a little bit more. Allow it to feel your body and heal anything that needs healing. And let that go. Allow that earth chi to circulate. Allow it to merge with your essence, your jing. Now we're going to take that earth chi and we're going to use that to work with our lungs and large intestine. So the large intestine is right here below, just below your, just around your navel. Kind of comes up here, crosses, and then down. So we just want to feel that it's just above the small intestine. And we have our lungs. And this is the element of metal. Metal is associated with fall. It's the direction is the west. So feel that just you're casting your awareness more toward the west right now. and asking that direction, that the nature chi to replenish your metal. And metal is going from the yang of summer and the fullness of the earth element to now we're heading back toward the yin of wintertime. So here's where we let go. This is dissolving. Just as the lungs expel impurity, the carbon dioxide, which too much of that and it poisons us. Similarly, the large intestine gets rid of food waste. So it's about getting rid of stuff. That's the earth, or that's um, the fire. I'm sorry, that's the metal. The metal going from as we're feeling that metal chi. Metal chi is the feeling of it is where you're kind of moving down. Like think about dropping a hammer, that kind of boom. It's an abrupt drop. So it's very um, it's very condensed, the energy. It's down, it's condensing. It's also very pointed. So it's like when you're striking with metal energy, you're picking a point in space and boom, you're just finding that spot, and that's everything goes to that one spot. So that's our metal chi. And there's the negative emotion to that is grief. That's the feeling of loss. But whenever more of a positive, it's a recognition that, oh yeah, I gotta empty out in order to fill up again. So there's a sense of returning with that. The tide goes out, the tide comes in, the tide goes out. And let that go. Allow that metal chi to circulate, to be the medicine that you need, if you need it. Be allowed to cultivate new skills in you if that's what you need. Ability to be focused and direct. Okay, now we're going to the last element, and that'll be water. And you want to feel your kidneys, your lower back, by the side of your spine. And this is where we're feeling the water element. The direction is north. It's the season of winter. So water has a relationship to the cold as well. Too much cold and water freezes up. Too little cold and it dissipates. Water, the kidneys are also related to your your will. Your will is your ability to get something done, to be able to organize things in a way to be most effective. Too much will and you become obsessive and it depletes you. Too little will and you're wishy-washy and ineffective. You find that exact right relationship there, where you are bringing the authenticity. It has a lot. The water has a lot to do with authenticity. It's about getting the right amount of of the elements in your body. Feel that water chi filling up your kidneys, circulating throughout your body. Feel it resonating with all the water in your body. Now let that go. Now feel all the 5 elements together in whatever proportion you need them right now. Step in. Take a deep breath. Go in the balls of your feet. Hands come up. Gather and then sink into your heels and exhale and throw that all away. Empty out the vessel, creating space for fresh, new energy to come in. Great. Okay, what time we got? We got time. Okay, so we're going to do this now. Now we've done the little refresher on the elements. We're going to do a Taiji form and nice and slow. And I'm going to call out the different elements as they occur to me. I wrote them down. Can you post no, we'll post it later. Okay, I got a list of them here. My coach will prompt me if I forget which ones are which or get confused. But anyway, this is how the elements seem to play out. How they resonate best in at least in my mind when I thought about this. So let's begin. Let's begin with the Wu Chi. That means we're emptying out. Wu Chi is the undifferentiated nothingness or emptiness. It's letting go of everything. Clean slate. And begin. So we go from the Wu Chi, step out, and we enter into the Taiji, which is the grand ultimate, the undifferentiated somethingness. So we've gone from the emptiness into form. From here, you go to the balls of your feet and reach up with your wrists, reach with your fingers, and this is wood energy. Feel that wood energy is pulling up, growing like that bamboo. Feel it extending up, but also extending forward, reaching out through your fingers. Everything is reaching up. The crown of your head is reaching up. Feel that wood chi, that wood element. And then sink into your heels. Reach down to your elbows. And we're going to go with metal here. So we're going to get down, heavy, dense, very collected, directed. Feel the density of the yin there. Now we're going into cloud hands. Over here, we're going to do two elements. There's going to be a nice flowing, watery feeling. But there's also going to be earth as we come across. Anytime we're moving laterally, we're opening up in this circular fashion that evokes the earth chi. So there's this sense of fullness there, as well as water. So it's going oscillating between the flow of the water, the waveform, and the earth, the fullness, stability. Step in. Now we're going to single whip. And from here, we reach out with the wrist, open up, and we're in wood energy now. That expansion, opening, step. Feel that and feel that wood. You're reaching forward, you're reaching out, reaching up. There's that expansiveness, but also very, very connected. Spiral down, reach up, and we're going, this is also wood. We're going to fist under elbow. Feel that expansion as we reach forward and up with the crown. Feel that fullness, that directedness. Think of, wood has this feeling like a battering ram. Step. And this one, we're going from earth, this roundedness, turn. I guess it's all earth. We go into white crane. Feel that earthiness, that expansiveness, that fullness. And now we're going from earth into wood. We're going to brush knee, twist step. So feel that woodness, that reaching forward. And feel that extension. And here's this. This is wood. This is wood.
And it's earth and
earth.
wood.
So that turning is earth, going into
Wood.
Play guitar, where we're back into wood again. A lot of wood here at this section of the form. Feel that reaching, that extension, that opening, that yang impulse. Step back. And this is strike with fingers. What's this one?
Wood.
This is wood. Some more wood here. Strike. And pivot. Pivot. Reaching up is wood. Reaching down is metal. Feel those two poles in opposition here. The yang impulse reaching up, the yin impulse reaching down. The wood expanding upward, the metal condensing down. And going into earth. Step and strike with back fist, metal. Yeah. Earth going into metal. So this is coming down like it's coming down like a hammer. Earth as we turn round, going into wood. Punch. Feel the wood there. And pivot, sink. What's this one?
You have it as fire and then metal.
Yeah, we're going to do fire here. So this one, we're coming in and this is fiery going into metal. And the fire feeding the metal. And so we have earth
fire and wood.
and more fire and wood. So, think, turn.
You don't have that one here?
I don't have
You
this.
go into
This is
ward
going,
off,
going
right, this
into
earth,
ward off is going. That's earth going into
wood.
wood. You know that pungent, that up and out energy, expansive, reaching. We're going into water. You know the wave. As we go into rollback, going into metal. We start with water, we end up with metal. Feel that downward pull, both of them going down, settling. Press, we go water, sinking into earth. So reaching big and round, full. Yeah, you're just feel that sense of fullness, that completion. And let that go and
Water.
going into water as we move into the push. Big wave here coming down, gathering, and whoosh, coming up and out. Feel that water circling through you. That wave keeps coming. And then sink and turn. And we're going into earth. Cross hands. Reach with your elbows, reach with your wrists, open your back. Everything very big and expansive. Very solid, very connected, very rooted. Yeah, that earthiness. Like you're immovable. Then separate that, let that go. Open and then water. Sink into your heels and feel the water just trickling down, 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 dissolving. And pause and feel into this as we dissolve and return to the Taiji. Feel that sense of completion, of fullness, the grand ultimate. Feel the energy circulating throughout the whole system. Integrating into your internal organs, into your essence, your Jing. And step in. Return to the Wuji. We come up, gather, and sink and empty out. Throw it all away. Dissolve into the emptiness, into the Wuji. Please have a seat. Right. Sharon.
Oh, this is so exciting. I loved it that when we were preparing to do everything and when we were pumping the energy with hands around the belt area or waist. I love that. And and then when you went through the positions, the pacing was absolutely perfect for me. There was no strain. And when I got into the positions, I felt like I was a sculpture in a garden and very alive in each of the positions. It was
Wonderful.
it was beautiful for me.
Terrific.
It was a great trip, but it wasn't a strange trip.
That's wonderful. Great. Lynn.
Yeah, the coolest thing I think that I felt was that my each time we did one of the energies, I felt the sometimes the opposing energy, maybe that's the wrong term, but the complementary energy. And I felt like I had a carapace, like I was a beetle with this lovely whole shell around me, which doesn't sound lovely, but felt lovely, right? This sort of power going all directions and all of it connected throughout. It was super great.
Wonderful. That's great. That's a first. Hey, carapace.
Me too. It's a first for me. I've never
That
been a
does
beetle
not come up
before.
in these conversations very often.
I never would have thought I wanted to be a beetle, but or whatever. Like maybe a turtle.
Should
More like
we-
a turtle. I don't
I was
know.
gonna say, should we call you Gregor?
No, no, I'm not Kafka. No, no Kafka. No Kafka references here. But it was good. That was a good thing.
Great. Valerie.
At the very end, there was such a sense of completion. And I don't know how to describe it any more than that. It was different than just running through the set. Even when I'm, completely immersed, I think it's because we hit all of the elements the way we did. And, blah, 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 the organs. It was just a wholeness that was different.
Nice.
And I enjoyed that very much. I wasn't wearing the turtle shell, or nor was I a beetle, but there was just this wholeness that was really nice.
Beautiful.
Really nice.
Terrific. Jonathan.
Well, it is spring and wood, and I don't know why it is. I'm always forgetting the nails, so I'm so grateful to you for reminding me. Again, when I had Master Fukui at the Open Center, I remember him saying that almost more than anything else when we were going through whatever forms he was taking us through. And it strikes me as, you've got this genius thing of the pointing the finger, which is just the slightest little thing, like you're touching paint or something. But even subtler than that. I mean, I love to, like Tai Chi when you're not doing Tai Chi, standing in the subway station, waiting for the train. Nobody knows you're doing Tai Chi. Your moves are too subtle. There's nothing subtler. I do believe feeling nails is rock bottom subtle.
It's pretty subtle.
and because of that, you talk about doing something 100 times a day. I mean, this does seem like the thing to really be checking into all day. I mean, right? Because it's like you're feeling your hand. Your hand is coming alive in such a way. Even now, as I'm saying it, just by the nails, it opens the door to so much. And maybe it's because it's so subtle, I keep forgetting to do it. I haven't thought about it in like a year. Or 8 months or whatever. And now as I'm doing it, it's like, whoa, look at all this turns on. So thank you.
Wonderful. Richard.
It seems for me that as we're talking about and working through the elements and the complementary systems of each element, that's increasing my understanding of poles in opposition.
Mhm.
And the poles in opposition I now see as expanding my space to fill it up. It's the poles in opposition pull the space all the way full.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if that makes any sense to
No,
anyone
no,
else.
the poles in opposition create the space.
Right.
So they establish a space which allow us to do stuff inside of those poles. We
Right.
establish parameters of our field, and then then the interactions can occur. So that's a beautiful insight.
Thank you.
And getting the feeling of that is the point I think you're trying to make here. It's more than just an intellectual concept. There's a feeling of poles in opposition.
And each step is not headed in one direction. It's headed in all directions, being pulled apart by poles in opposition.
Yes.
That's the way I feel.
That's what my therapist was doing for me. Yes.
Right.
My
Yeah.
wholeness was doing.
Yes.
Terrific. Good. Okay. Dave.
I'll echo what Sharon said. I mean, there was just a feeling of completeness and for me, the movements were easy. It wasn't too complex. And aside from losing my internet for about 5 minutes somewhere in there, it felt really good. I came back and I was like right in it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Terrific. Great. Okay. Anybody else? Scott.
So when we were doing the meditate the elements at the beginning, we got to wood, and at one point during the wood, it was just I felt like I don't know, just like tall, like without a limit. Like it was just really why it was really cool. Didn't last long, but it was really interesting.
Nice.
And I always have trouble with not. It's not one of the things that's not my strongest suit is the feeling emptying out. And for some reason, it came to me that, the Chinese were always talking about the space inside of a jar or whatever. So that's what I just tried to do is picture myself as the space inside of a cylinder, and that really helped me empty out and just be the space.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Great. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you all so much. It's been a hoot. Thank you, Maria.
Thanks,
Love
Maria.
you, Maria.
Thanks,
Love you
Coach.
guys. Thanks, Maria. Good luck,
Bye-bye,
Richard.
everybody. Love you.
Thinking about you, Richard.
Oh, do you want to post the
Thank you.
thing?
I can't really post it. I
Okay.
can send it to them if they like.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll send you the thing in the mail.
Okay. And we can post it on the YouTube too then. So, okay, cool. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah.